for the Red Raiders. And he will field it from the 5. And Grant is met at about the 23-yard line. It was Antonio Longino, the first to get down there on coverage. It was Cliff Kingsbury, the 34-year-old, the youngest head coach among the 5 power conferences. But he has as much experience with recent quarterback success as anyone could ever have. Todd Graham, his 2nd season at Arizona State, the Pac-12 Coach of the Year.
What's interesting to me in this game, Cliff Kingsbury, he calls all the plays for Texas Tech. And Todd Graham, he calls all the defenses for Arizona State. Kind of rare.
This is Kenny Williams to get the night going for Texas Tech, and it'll be a tackle for loss back at the 19-yard line as Jackson Hood got into the backfield.
Jackson Hood gets the start with Davon Coleman out for this game. Hood play usually an inside man, but he's outside. Defensive end.
True freshman quarterback Davis Webb will work out of the gun. Empty set here on 2nd and 13. And Webb goes with the tunnel screen to Foster. And Foster gets it out to the 28-yard line. So Dale Foster, the senior, a JUCO transfer who made an immediate impact with Texas Tech.
Tess, one of the guys going to have to keep your eyes on tonight is tight end Jay Sumaro, number 22 for this Tech offense. He's really the chain mover. He's the guy they have confidence in situations like this.
He's flexed out in the slot on the near side. 3rd and 4. And that is complete for a first down to Eric Ward, who came into tonight's game with 252 career receptions. Hurry up here. Webb looking to run on first down. And smartly goes down just beyond the 40.
Watch Davis Webb, and he's more of a pocket passer. Now he's coming out, and in comes Brewer. That didn't take long.
Not at all. Platooning right here on the first series. Michael Brewer, the sophomore from Lake Travis, Texas. 2nd and 6, and here's Brewer. This is what he does better than Webb, as he has good feet and he passes midfield, moves the chains.
Tess, we had a chance to talk to the Arizona State head coach Todd Graham, and the first thing he said is, look, I expect to see a lot of Brewer. He said, I know him, I recruited him, I liked him, I know what he brings to the table. And he said, we're going to have to prepare for him. So they've been preparing for Brewer the whole time.
So Todd Graham calling the defensive plays.
It's a free one right here.
And he's going to take a shot downfield with the free play. And he was intercepted by Randall. But this will be coming back. Marius Randall was on the other end of that Michael Brewer rainbow.
It's actually smart by Brewer. He knew he had a free play. Take your shot. You never know. Matt Austin, our referee. This is an SEC officiating crew. They get the jump. Brewer's aware of it. This is smart football right now. He knows he has a shot down the left sideline. Why not take it?
Brewer suffered a back injury. It really sent his 2013 off course. He was thought to be the guy that would win the starting job in fall camp, but was out of uniform for the entire first month. 1st and 5, inside handoff as Williams cannot get free of Carl Bradford.
Bradford's another one who's been very active, along with Will Sutton, in this defensive front. Bradford's one of those guys that you have to make a play. He's one of them that they look to make a play.
Davis Webb is back in at quarterback. Second and 4 with Webb out of the gun. Play action. Sutton's after him, and he gets it complete, and that is Jay Sumaro, the unanimous All-America tight end.
Big man, 260 pounds. They flex him out a lot. And he's a guy who loves to use his body and use it to position himself. Excellent hands. They are not afraid to go to him in any situation.
First down with Webb out of the gun, with DeAndre Washington now getting the inside carry, and he was chopped down after only getting back to the line of scrimmage. That was Fiso coming in.
Well, this is an interesting
There's a
matchup.
penalty marker down on the near side at about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, they dropped the flag. C.J. Samaro, you can see, leads all the tight ends.
Illegal formation on the offense, number 71. More than 4 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
That's Fortenberry, the right tackle, so I think they're saying he was off the line too
Correct.
far, getting ready for his pass pro there, creating 5 men in the offensive backfield.
It's an interesting offensive line. They take very big splits, and they kind of isolate you as a defender. Sometimes you can take advantage of that with quickness by taking inside moves on gaps.
Ball was deflected there on 1st and 15. It was Irabor who was able to get up and defend.
And of course, Irabor is the corner, which means they brought pressure off the side. What you're watching right now, Todd Graham saying, okay, I think my defenders are better than your receivers. So he's basically playing them in straight man-to-man.
Second and 15. Webb, pressure on him, gets rid of it, and it's incomplete as he was looking for Jakeem Grant. Pressure came from Carl Bradford again.
We talked about Bradford. You can see him off the edge. He just keeps on coming. Dips that inside shoulder and gets some pressure. Just missed that on the outside. Not a bad throw.
Remember, Grant's only 5'6", that streaking receiver coming across the field. 3rd and 15. There was movement as Bradford was coming in against Fortenberry.
Dead ball, false start. 72 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
They called it on Carpenter, but it was Fortenberry, the right tackle. This is a situation that Texas Tech did not want to get in. They wanted to be in 3rd and manageable, certainly not 3rd and long.
Freshman facing 3rd and 20. Near side, launching it, completing it, and how about that to Reginald Davis?
Davis had half a step, and Tess, that is dropping a dime. Davis Webb just dropped that thing perfectly. That's a great throw over the shoulder. You can't beat that throw. Davis beat Irabor, and here he goes.
And a quick strike, DeAndre Washington.
Oh, got a
and
timeout.
a whistle came in. There was a timeout.
Before the snap, timeout. Arizona State. The first timeout of the half. There'll be a 30-second timeout.
What a great throw by Davis Webb.
After the long completion, the up-tempo was hitting the pedal pretty hard there. Remember, Texas Tech likes that. They lead the nation in plays, had over 1,060 plays. It's an interesting season for Texas Tech. You know, they started off so hot. Opened up with SMU, had the win against TCU, and they were 7-0 under their new first-year head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, up to number 10 in the polls. But then came that backloaded Big 12 schedule with Oklahoma and Okie State and K-State and Baylor, and they lost their last 5 games as the defense was giving up big points, 49 points per game down the stretch in the midst of that losing streak.
You know, Cliff Kingsbury is very interesting to me. He's the son of a high school football coach. He comes out of New Braunfels High School in Texas. You know, he's very, very bright. I remember him coming out in the draft in 04. On that Wonderlic test, he had the highest of all the 2004 draftees.
This is Washington as he fights his way inside the 5. Of course, the Wonderlic, the NFL's version of the IQ test.
The IQ test, yeah. Very, very bright guy. He's a guy who loves to spend a lot of time with his quarterbacks. He tutors them. He just had Manziel a year ago. He's got a bright future.
And Case Keenum at Houston.
Exactly.
Was the offensive play caller last year at Texas A&M and that Heisman winning season, Johnny Manziel, and now has Davis Webb and Michael Brewer under his tutelage as they're looking to strike first here, 2nd and goal. Williams and Washington in the backfield with Davis Webb, the true freshman. And Williams, they're going to mark him just short of the goal line.
Just nice inside. Yeah, that's a good mark. That's a good
Jones with the tackle here. So they hurry up 3rd and goal. And can he get there? Davis Webb is torn down at the 1-yard line. That was Demarius Randall coming up to make the play.
That's a heck of a tackle by Randall. He came from the backside. Now he's got to make a choice right here.
4th down and goal.
And they're bringing the big people in.
They're going with the jumbo package.
What a heck of a tackle by Randall.
Inverted bone here on 4th and goal, and now they shift out of it. Play action. Davis Webb. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
Nice play call, Kingsbury.
That is Rodney Hall with the touchdown reception on 4th and goal.
I also like the fact that he moved Davis Webb. Get him off the mark. Now they give the illusion that they're going to be all big power and they're going to block inside, and they do. But then he slips out after he gets the block in his face, and Rodney Hall comes down with the catch. Excellent play call, better execution.
Ryan Buston adds the extra point. Flag is down on the point after. Signaling motion. Our SEC crew tonight led by Matt Austin.
Illegal formation, 43 of the kicking team, more than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, repeat the try.
Second time we've seen that early on against Texas Tech.
Probably lined up at the tight end spot and just got too deep.
14-play drive capped by Rodney Hall coming out of the backfield on 4th and goal. As Taylor Kelly waits his turn. And after the penalty and backing up Ryan Buston, he misses the extra point. 6-0 Texas Tech. The 3rd time Buston has missed an extra point. But it was Davis Webb, the 4th down touchdown pass, and Kingsbury's offense. Career catch goes for a touchdown to open up this bowl game. Kramer Fife to kick away, and Robert Nelson back deep for the Sun Devils. Here's Nelson a yard from his end zone. And Nelson caught a good block and then spins his way out to about the 32-yard line. He was tackled by DeAndre Washington. Taylor Kelly, over 3,500 passing yards this year, 3rd most in a single season in school history. And he's a pretty good runner, too. Can do damage with his legs.
Yeah, and Tess, the biggest thing for Taylor Kelly is he got better as the season went on. He got more confident. You could see him blossom. And so he's a dual threat guy. He's not the fastest guy, but he can beat you with his feet.
He's from Eagle, Idaho. He's the only player from Idaho back in 2010 to sign with a BCS AQ school, and he's taken down in the backfield that time as it was Pete Robertson getting in to make the tackle.
And there was on the first play, there was a mess up in the backfield.
Arizona State, they'll play up tempo as well. 2nd and 11 as they go to Jalen Strong, and he's corralled by Robertson and company again.
Robertson's one of the active players of that linebacking core that's not very big. They're all right around the 215 to 220 mark. They run extremely well. They're active. But if they have a hard time with if linemen can get up on them.
Third and 10 as Foster motions out of the backfield.
Front 5 went man.
Kelly trying to extend the play and just flicked it over to Foster, who couldn't haul it in. So it'll be a 3 and out for Arizona State as Dartwan Bush was coming after Taylor Kelly.
Interesting call. They didn't mind matching up, going man-to-man right away, and they brought pressure. It worked. Got Kelly outside the pocket, forced the fourth.
Todd Graham, he had the frustrations defensively, and now he sees his offense quickly exit.
I think some of the frustration early was the pace got to them. He didn't get the calls in quick enough. Flag is down. Flag down at the line of scrimmage. That's head linesman threw that one.
There's Garrett's kick. It's bouncing downfield just inside the 30.
That's one of the rules, one of the don'ts. You don't be offside, you don't rough the kicker, and you never let the ball hit the ground. Those are the 3 don'ts of the kicking game. Talking to Kingsbury. Must be against ASU.
Illegal formation on the kicking team. Number 17 originally lined up in ineligible position. After the shift was lined up as ineligible. The 5-yard penalty will be tacked on for the end of the kick. First down.
I think we found a point of emphasis with this SEC crew, huh? Formations. The Gaslamp District, just downtown from where we are here. We'll be back with more from the National University Holiday Bowl. Faced with hot dogs over the concession.
That was Alden Darby you saw there.
He's always having
kissed
fun
by that bottlenose. I think that's what it was. No, probably not. I don't know what I'm talking about. Making stuff up.
Second offensive series for Texas Tech. Davis Webb had a touchdown pass first go round. He was looking for the screen, then goes back to the other side and throws it incomplete. Let's check in with Maria.
Cliff Kingsbury was pulling his offense aside, guys, and telling them tempo, tempo, tempo. If you think you're going fast, you can go faster. We can kill them with our tempo.
It's the last thing that Todd Graham wants to hear. Basically, every 19.2 seconds you get an offensive play out of Texas Tech this year.
Which is smart football. It's smart. You can manipulate that. That's one thing you have a little bit of control over.
Flag is down as Webb gets it complete for an 8-yard gain to Bradley Marquez. We will check on that.
Personal foul, face mask, 62 offense. 15-yard play over the previous spot. Repeat second down.
LaRaven Clark, the left tackle.
Who's a pretty good player. Raven Clark's got some pretty good feet. You're going to see him on the top side. Yeah, he gets it right away. You can see right away he gets Bradford's face mask. And that's the official's job. That referee is standing opposite, and his job is to see that left tackle and that right defensive end, presumably the best pass rusher and the best offensive lineman.
Bradford had 8.5 sacks this year. 2nd and 25. Another flag is down.
Another free play.
Takes a shot with another free play, and this will go incomplete.
Bradford looked like he jumped on the top side again.
Offside, defense 52. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Capital One Bowl week continues Tuesday, and it's a triple header. It starts with the Advocare V100 Bowl, Arizona against BC, then the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Rice and Mississippi State, and Chick-fil-A, Johnny Football against the upstarts, number 24 Duke, number 21 Texas A&M from Atlanta. Should be a very fun day. You got the great running backs going early, Arizona and BC, and then you finish it up with Duke against the Aggies. 2nd and 20. And here is Jace Amaro, and the All-America tight end takes it for a first down, running over Randall at the end of that play, a 23-yard reception.
Now, it's one of the things that Kingsbury loves to do with Jace Amaro is running him across formations. Get him cross inside the middle and working against those linebackers. He's done very well.
Here's that tempo that's been getting the best of teams, and once again, it's Jace Amaro.
Here they go again. Quick, hurry up. So what that does, it puts pressure not only on you as a defender, but on the sideline to get the right calls in as well. Sometimes you just go to a base call, and that's when the offense gets you, when they can make you predictable calling your defense.
There was some substitution issues in the offensive backfield there, and we're going to get a timeout out of Texas Tech.
Their first timeout of the half.
So each team has burned a timeout here. Texas Tech, Year's Day, just up the road from us here in Southern California. Looking for Michigan State ready to go out.
Yeah, looking for that power running game against a significant loss of Max Bulla of that Michigan State defense.
The heart and soul, the center of that Michigan State defense. Tremendous linebacker who won't be in action for Sparty. First down run here, straight up the gut goes Kenny Williams.
And hurry up as fast as you can. They are sprinting to where they need to be.
Snapping with the play clock at 32 and able to get it complete out of the backfield to Williams.
That is smart football. Very smart. He has them off balance right now. Kingsbury has got Todd Graham off balance. I mentioned it earlier. Oh, now there's going to be a flag for substitution.
Illegal substitution, 34 of the offense, 12 men in the formation.
Well,
5-yard penalty, second down.
It's the risk of going a little fast.
Yeah, I mean, that's so they have their own problems, as does Arizona State. But what I was about to say, Tess, is once, as an offensive play caller, once you get a team that gets locked into one coverage, you can eat them alive. And that's what you try to make the other team predictable, and then you can get them. And right now, that's where he has them.
Arizona State defense with their head spinning right now with this pace Texas Tech is setting. Here's a little touch pass, little scoop to Grant. He gets the corner, cuts to the inside, and crosses the goal line. What a great cut by Jakeem Grant to score there.
As we said about Jakeem Grant that he was quicker in a hiccup, and he showed it right there. He's quicker than fast, but he's a small guy. He's 5'6", about $160. But watch his feet, and he's just so he kind of reminds me of up in Oregon. DeAnthony has the same type of movement.
And this time Buston puts it through. The speed guy, Jakeem Grant, getting to the edge and then getting on in.
Dreams are really what give you purpose in life. It's what keeps you going every day.
As a result of the things I've done at Arizona State University, my dream is no longer just a dream, but rather my reality, my future.
At ASU, you don't have to wait to graduate to have an impact.
ASU really pushes for change and social transformation and innovation.
ASU sees your potential.
I know that ASU is going to help my dream come true.
Dream it.
Do it.
Come New Year's Day, we got a good slate of games as we have Texas Tech stunning some 13-0 on top of Arizona State here in the National University Holiday Bowl. Nebraska and Georgia go at it in attackslayer.com. Gator Bowl, UNLV North Texas at noon. Wisconsin and South Florida in the Capital One Bowl from Orlando, and Iowa and LSU in the Outback. This return just gets out to the 20-yard line by Robert Nelson. Arizona State is not at 100% strength. Their starting running back, Marion Grice, is injured and out. He's a guy that's got 39 career touchdowns in only 23 games. And then Davon Coleman is suspended, starting defensive end. They could use him against what we've seen so far, the passing attack of Texas Tech.
Yeah, there's Marion Grice and Davon Coleman. They can use both these guys right now. They have right now, Texas Tech has Arizona State on its heels. And this Texas Tech offense is playing with great confidence. Let's see what if they can counterpunch right now.
Marie Nelson fumbles the ball, but Taylor Kelly is right there. Perfect timing as the quarterback was following the play and scoops it up all the way inside the 30-yard line.
Just like they drew it up. Watch this. The ball takes a fortuitous bounce right here, right into Kelly's hands. That's a big play.
Now here's Kelly. He's going to take a shot. And that was out of bounds. A flag did come in there as Jalen Strong was covered by Bruce Jones. Well, that play by Kelly to be in the right place and get that bounce, and how smart to keep running out the option and give the defense the look.
Stayed with it.
And he stayed with it.
It takes no talent to hustle, Tess.
Pass interference, offense number 21. 15-yard play from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
That's Jalen Strong. Watch it at the end. Yeah, that's what they're going to get him. They're going to get him with the push, and then he tries to throw him by. It didn't look like much to me.
Well, you know, initially he had his arms out there but didn't make the contact for the push. The way his arms were positioned at first would give you the sense that the push-off was coming, but it never really came.
Jalen Strong is one of their big play guys. Is 6'3", 210 pounds, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, out in the desert.
JUCO transfer. Been big this year for this offense. We go with the sweep this time with Rick Smith as he comes end around to the 36-yard line, tackled by Trey Porter.
One of the things that you watch with this Arizona State offense is this offensive line. It's a well-coached group, completely different, tighter splits. They come off on a three-point stance all the time, and they will wear on you.
2nd and 18. Kelly gets it to Smith, who tries to turn the corner, and he is forced out at what was the original line of scrimmage by Justice Nelson.
Sets up this 3rd and long. So you got 3rd and 11. They've answered the 2 scores. This is the critical down to get something out of this drive. Tech's going to bring some pressure with man outside.
They bring pressure. Kelly sprinting to that short side, and he can only step out after gaining a yard as Pete Robertson was forcing that angle against Taylor Kelly.
He took his eyes down too soon and took off running because he had a safety sitting there flat-footed with the slot receiver right on him. Take a look at these numbers. If you told me in the start that Texas Tech would be controlling the clock, the score, and the game at this point, I would say there's no way. It's almost opposite of what we thought.
Zane Gonzalez comes on for the 44-yard attempt. First team all Pac-12 place kicker. And he gets the Sun Devils on the board. Strong year for Arizona State as they look for win number 11. Of course, the controversy when they defeated Wisconsin, the way that game ended, Wisconsin losing out for a chance. They only lost to 2 teams, have the 3 losses, but it was Stanford who got them twice. Made their way to the Pac-12 title game, and you talk to Todd Graham, and he says, you know, everybody says every game's the same. You're up for every game. They all mean the same. He said, I'm calling on that because that one still stings. They wanted that trip to the Rose Bowl. That's the ultimate goal for this program, and they thought they had it lined up. He said, Stanford was the biggest game of my life, and it took a lot out of them.
Todd Graham's one of those guys that every game that he's playing in or is involved with is going to be the biggest game in his life. He treats every single one like it's the last one. And I love that about him. He's kind of infectious.
Alex Garrett to kick away. As Taylor Kelly had that scooped up fumble that bounced the right way, put him in field goal range. Here's Jakeem Grant. And he loses the ball. And ASU looked to jump on it right there. And the Sun Devils have it.
Tess, what was the #1 thing that Coach Kingsbury said they could not do?
Turn the ball over.
You got it. And that's a nice play. Puts his face right on the ball. That was Stephen Martin. Watch his face. Right on Grant. Right on the ball. That's outstanding.
Martin scooped it up. Randall came down on coverage. Reminder that SportsCenter is starting right now on ESPN2, and they'll have all the details of Mack Brown's final game as Texas fell to Oregon tonight. Here's Kelly now as he pulled it from Foster and sprinted ahead for just over 10 yards.
You want to kill a team's confidence, turn the ball over. Let's see how they respond. Now Arizona State, Taylor Kelly knows exactly what he has to do. See if somebody can make a play on the other side.
Jay Foster getting to the 11-yard line.
Well, we got a guy down for Tech. He came down from the safety spot.
That's Trey Porter.
And he hit him pretty good.
Starting free safety. Leads Texas Tech among active players and career tackles.
One thing about this, the back seven, Tess, of this defense is not very big, but they're willing to come down and whack, and that's exactly what Trey Porter did. He came down and he smacked them pretty good.
Some helmet-to-helmet contact there as the running back Foster lowered his upper body and Porter came in. Two helmets hit there. So Porter is helped off the field as Arizona State looks to cash in after the kickoff return fumbled away. Jakeem Grant just walks the sidelines hoping his defense can bail him out here. Play action. Kelly taken down at the 20-yard line by Dartwan Bush.
It's a big play by Bush. They needed something to happen. They lined up off that outside at the defensive end, that outside spot. Just came clean.
3rd and 13 now. Kelly pressured again. He was able to get it complete, but only to the 14-yard line to Strong. So it'll be 4th down.
That's a great job by the Texas Tech defense. Able to give them, they got away without giving up 6. They gave them a shot at a field goal to try to just make it 3.
Zane Gonzalez made his first attempt moments ago from 44, this from 31. He had made 18 straight field goals before a miss in the Pac-12 title game. And he is 2 for 2, off to a strong start tonight.
Tess, one thing that I've noticed here in this first half, you can see the confidence and leave a little bit with this Texas Tech team. And then for the defensive people, I believe what happened is Todd Graham went and put a bright yellow jersey on. My guess is when they went with the fast pace, the signal caller on defense is probably not being able to pick him out of the sideline.
Right.
So they went with the bright yellow there to be able to identify him a lot faster.
And
I remember that from playing. I remember you look to the sideline quick, they all look the same. So you need somebody different.
And you only have a few seconds when you're going up against Davis Webb in this Texas Tech offense. So you see the bright yellow pullover now on Todd Graham, the head coach who calls out all the defensive plays. Once again, good special teams coverage as Marquez was swarmed. Let's check in with Maria.
You know, Todd Graham was telling his defense that all they've been doing is running play action and getting it to the backside receiver. So he was telling his defense, know what's happening to you. Stay on that backside man. He also said, this is just adversity. We knew we were going to go through this. We can still win this game if you guys settle down and just stick in there and play defense, guys.
Settling in is a tough thing to do with the up-tempo of Texas Tech. Davis Webb 9 of 12, 129 yards and 2 touchdown passes already. Empty set on first down. They go to the quick game, and that was blown up by Randall. He was all over Jordan Davis.
That's the second time Demarius Randall makes an excellent play. Remember the other time down in the goal line, and this nice read works through. Nice tackle.
Second and 11. They go counter inside handoff Williams, and he could not get free at all. It was Carl Bradford going lateral with Williams.
Bradford's played himself a good first quarter here. He's been active.
A little limp out of Carl Bradford.
This was earlier in the game when he's calling the defenses, and you start to blend in. So he went to the bright yellow to be able to be identified more easily.
He's the only guy over there wearing the bright yellow to call out those plays. And you see him standing right out on the field with the defensive team out there just yards away from him. Meanwhile, over the shoulder of Cliff Kingsbury. 3rd and 11. Kingsbury has his quarterback take a strike and connect to Marquez.
And they're going hurry up again. Changing on the fly. It's what they like to do. That's a heck of a throw again.
2 head coaches who act as the play callers dueling here in San Diego.
Timeout, Arizona State. Their second timeout of the half.
How about the freshman quarterback Davis Webb? In the first quarter he's having as Carl Bradford is off injured on the sideline.
The thing that's impressing me the most right now is the Texas Tech offensive line to give Webb his protection. And then I want you to watch down here. Again, they're going man-to-man on the outside. This is all on Nelson and Marquez. And Marquez beats him. He beats him clean the whole time. Nice protection. Webb with another dime that he dropped right out of the sky. That's some good football.
Matt Webb is 11 of 14 for 172 yards.
He's been impressive. And I like the way they've been calling plays. So he gets rid of the ball quick, and then he's been accurate. That's the biggest thing. Down the right sideline, he loves to throw it to the right side of the field. He's very familiar with that side. But 11 completions to 9 different receivers. Davis Webb came to play.
When you start 5 games this year, Baker Mayfield went out with a knee injury, and that gave Webb the opportunity, and he broke 7 school and Big 12 freshman records and got the start here tonight. He's got Texas Tech out in front 13-6 and moving again.
can't blow another timeout like that. I don't care who it is. You just don't do that.
Second they've used. You know, as much as we talk about Webb, there's another aspect of this game that we touched on in preparing for it, and that was the mental aspect. And we often talk about how teams go into a bowl game. Arizona State was thinking Rose Bowl. And it's listen, Holiday Bowl's a nice destination, a lot of grand history and tradition-rich bowl game. Texas Tech was coming off of 5 losses. 2 teams that were going in different directions. Texas Tech had the chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, and we spoke to Todd Graham about that, and we asked him if that would be a problem. He was adamant. He said absolutely not. Yes, we were focused on the Rose Bowl. That's gone, past, move on. We are focused on this team. He knew and was well aware of what could happen with this Texas Tech offense. The problem for him right now is what he feared is coming true.
Well, Bradford is back out there. Big Will Sutton, the All-America defensive lineman.
Been quiet.
Go with Washington on the inside handoff, who gets 3 yards.
So what Will Sutton is quiet for a reason. One of them is what you've seen. They've been doing a nice job of moving Webb at times, getting him outside the pocket, and then also the ball's coming out very quickly. So if you're going to get any kind of a rush, it has to be up inside these A-gaps quickly, and they haven't been able to do that. Nicely done by that offensive line.
Webb checks on 2nd and 7.
There he is right there.
And it was Bradford with another tackle for loss, continuing the pace he has set all season long.
Yeah, he came to play tonight, Tess. Granted, it's just the first quarter, but he's made this type of play all night long. Boy, that's a fantastic play.
What a spin move that was.
Let me tell you, Raven Clark is no stiff. That's a pretty good left tackle. Bradford was all over that.
Entertaining first quarter here in the National University Holiday Bowl. Texas Tech, the underdogs. They jumped out in front of Capital One Bowl Week. Joe Tessitore, Matt Millen, Maria Taylor with you here in San Diego. Texas Tech 13-6 on top of Arizona State, and a completion for a first down to Jace Amaro, who battles his way for extra yards.
That is fantastic by Amaro. I want you to watch how he gets his defender on his hip and then uses his body. See that lean, Tess? That was Anthony Jones. He got him positioned to the inside, leaned on him, and then came back. That's a great route, Amaro.
And over 1,200 yards this year. A unanimous All-American. This Webb, freshman quarterback, playing with such confidence. How about a touch here as he finesses it into the end zone for a touchdown? That was Bradley Marquez.
How about Davis Webb with a guy right in his face? Didn't flinch. Threw that thing perfect. Watch Marquez. He knows he's got to keep his feet in, and he does just that.
You know, he plays baseball in the New York Mets farm system in the summertime, does Marquez, and that was a over-the-shoulder basket catch right there.
It's another outstanding throw by Davis Webb.
And there's a knuckleball of a PAT by Ryan Buston. Davis Webb, his 3rd touchdown pass, as Marquez was all alone and tiptoed the edge, and Webb says, guns up. This Webb 13 of 16 for 213 yards and 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers to get the night going in a 20-6 Red Raiders lead. Kramer Fife kicks away, and Robert Nelson on the return. Nelson cannot spin free.
Tess, a couple of real big points to watch. Iribor, the corner, he's going to come on a blitz. I want you to watch the end of that to see how patient Webb is. That's the first point. The second point is on the top side. That's Darby. He's got to get over the top And that's his coverage. His eyes go back in at the quarterback, and right there he's beat. But what a fantastic job by Webb with the patience, knowing that Iribor is coming right in his face. He stood in there like a pro.
Now the Sun Devils try to respond. And Foster takes it ahead to the 30-yard line. Webb with 213 yards. As you compare the quarterbacks, it's no comparison early on. Arizona State's pass defense only gives up 221 a game. He's at 213 here early in the second. And Foster on the direct snap. That was read well by the defensive front.
I am very surprised at this Texas Tech defense. They have been playing outstanding. Now, part of that reason is they're healthy. And part of the reason also is that they've been able to roll people in and stay fresh. And their offense has been staying on the field. All that's been, you can't write a better script right now.
You know, Matt Wallerstedt, who you see there, the defensive coordinator, he's their 5th defensive coordinator in 5 years. This group has had a lot of transition. 3rd and 4 underneath, and brought down is Foster by Kerry Hyder, the senior who leads the team with 37 consecutive starts. Mr. Reliable with a big play.
Tess, that was a defensive tackle they had.
280-pounder.
They pulled him, came with a blitz, dropped him out, and he ran with the kid and made the play. That's a great play.
Matt Hawk on to punt away to Jordan Davis. And it's not a good punt, but it takes a good bounce inside the 30, still rolling inside the 20. And it'll settle down there. The hot hand of Davis Webb will return to the field for Texas Tech. 14-point lead for the Red Raiders. Plenty of time, and once again connecting with Jace Amaro.
They don't have an answer for Amaro.
Not many have.
What's Amaro with you? This is a crossing route again. They have not had that answer all night long. And I got to tell you, not many teams have Tess.
Not at all. Here's Foster now as he cuts back, crossing the 40-yard line. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Nice and clean for Cliff Kingsbury's offense. 2nd and 4, Webb to pass again.
It's another free one.
And it's another completion past midfield as Grant keeps his footing. He's a speedy guy, the return man. You do not want him with open green in front of him. As a flag is down.
It's like Arizona State on the defense. They'll decline it.
Sun Devils Jackson Hood is slow to get up back in midfield as well.
Offside, defense number 1. That penalty's declined. Play results in a first down.
Cliff Kingsbury has this defense completely off balance. And Davis Webb is playing absolutely phenomenal. And one of the reasons that they've done it is been able to, offensive line has handled that defensive front, and in particular, Will Sutton. And so what do you want to know why? Well, yeah, they're going to start to double team him, but they do a nice job of maintaining the double, and then they'll bring that third guy just in case to make sure. And then they have the big splits inside. He's 4 yards off the ball, a 3-yard split, and then all that's a nice job by the center and the guard on the right side, Carpenter, and tackle. He kicks his hips. Will Sutton's been held tackleless here through this, into the second quarter.
And this is a guy who's first-team AP All-America for the 2nd straight year. A guy who plays just to the inside of him, Jackson Hood, is helped off by the trainers. But Will Sutton, without a tackle so far for Todd Graham's defense, trying to match up and slow down that guy's offense. Cliff Kingsbury, who's been hitting the accelerator, going up-tempo and seeing his freshman quarterback be very productive. Webb has completed his last 10 passes. There's another tap pass forward to Eric Ward, and Ward gets the edge. That's the same play they scored on earlier. And now Ward has another first down for Arizona State. Or excuse me, for Texas Tech.
Is it me, or does it just look like Texas Tech is playing at a different speed than ASU?
They are. They're playing hungry and with an edge and with purpose.
And fast. They did not look like that on tape. I got to tell you, they didn't look like they had a lot of speed.
Low snap to Webb. As he goes this time to Marquez. There's Fiso there to make sure Marquez couldn't get any more.
Davis Webb is seeing the whole field. He's making excellent decisions. He's making calls at the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to bring Brewer in. But he's played a fantastic first half. Look at that. 268 yards, 17 out of 20, 12 straight completions.
And Michael Brewer, remember, they did this on the first series of the game as well. He's better with his legs, but not that time, as he ran right into the pressure as they brought Chris Young into that gap. So Webb will come back in.
Yeah, they came with a blitz, and Young came with the blitz, the leading tackler on this team. And that sets up this 3rd and long where Webb's been money. 12 straight.
Third and 11. The matchup problem is the slot to the near side. Amaro. They pick up the pressure. They go underneath to Grant. And Grant scoots right in.
And they ate that alive, Tess. They baited them into that. They waited for the pressure, and then on the backside, they ran just a little rub, because picks are illegal. They ran a nice little rub. And heck, I mean, this was like stealing. Webb anticipated it just perfectly. This looks like a walk in the park for Tech.
Quickest guy on the team. Keem Grant, just 5'6". They got him crossing, turn the corner, and Texas Tech is rolling here in San Diego. Davis Webb, his 4th touchdown pass of the night.
The 100th Rose Bowl game.
He's going to run what's called a rub. That's who he's trying to rub. This defender's going to come down. He's going to try to take that defender into the other defender, and what it does is it leaves this wide open. He has to avoid him by going over the top. That right there, that separation is the difference in the play, and Grant takes it in for 6. Nicely done by Jay Samaro. So he's beat him by catching the ball, and he's beaten him with body position. And then Grant's had himself a tremendous night here. Take away that fumble, he's been a stud.
Davis Webb, 4 touchdown passes. That already ties the Holiday Bowl record for touchdown passes in a game. 10 minutes to play before half. Robert Nelson on the return. He gets out to the 21. Let's check in with John Saunders in the studio. John, what do you have?
Well, Joe, it's the instant replay brought to you by the new Surface. And the pick 6 was the Friend of Oregon against Texas here. Derek Malone with the 2nd of the night. And the Ducks take this in for a touchdown, and they win easily. 30-7 is the final in Mack Brown's final game. Back to Joe and Matt.
Taylor Kelly and that Arizona State offense finding themselves in a 3-touchdown hole here. Foster only gets 2 yards that time, as it was Demetrius Alston taking him down.
Tess, I'm surprised at how well this defense has been playing.
It's not a shock if I told you the Texas Tech passing game would find its groove and have success.
Absolutely.
But this front 7 defensively, being one of the big differences in this game is. And they do it again with Foster only able to get a yard.
And they're not giving an inch in there. I mean, this is a bigger offensive line, more physical offensive line. Now, Texas Tech has been beat up. And when we spoke with Matt Wallerstadt yesterday, he said, look, I'm excited for the challenge because we're healthy. We have guys who we can rotate through. We're not the biggest guys, but we got Bush back who's nice and healthy. We have a little bit of size on the inside. But he said we can rotate guys through and keep them fresh. And they've been playing flawlessly.
Arizona State yet to convert a third down tonight. Here's 3rd and 6. And they won't here as well. Will Smith was like a missile coming in.
Now they're also doing a nice job of understanding what Arizona State is being taught to do with pressure. And that is get rid of the ball underneath quick. And so they're bringing pressure and they're keeping tight coverage on the outside. Will Smith was all over that coverage. Forces a 4th down. It's great defense.
Team's leading tackler is Smith. And Matt Hawk on to punt away again. The freshman punter. As Davis, did he touch that?
There's a flag down.
Flag is down as Arizona State recovers what they feel is a muff punt. It was Alden Darby on coverage, and we'll wait for the officials to clean it up. But if it stands,
that was his own man who hit him.
It'll be
That's going to be a free ball.
The only blemishes tonight have been special teams for Texas Tech. Well, we'll see if that was the interference that time by number 4. As Alden Darby was down there on coverage, the man who recovered it, but also was coming right past the intended punt returner, Jordan Davis.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, number 21 of the receiving team. That penalty's declined. Play results in 1st down.
Let's bring in Richard Morales, longtime SEC official who's in the booth with us. Richard, how do you see that?
Well, number 4 came into the inside 1 yard, right up against him. He is sort of blocked into him, so that is negates anything that could happen anywhere with the illegal catch interference.
So Washington pushed into Darby.
Right.
Darby came in and recovered. So a big break for the Sun Devils as they will take over inside Texas Tech's 30-yard line. And they are going to review this here. And Richard, what will they be looking for here in review? This is what you now do. You spent 20 years as an official on the field, and now you're a booth official and observer. What are they looking for upstairs?
They're looking for the touch of the ball. Who touched the ball first, if it's touched legally. And they're also looking, that's all they can get involved in, is the touching of the ball.
And so, Rich, right there, there's a question as to whether it was even touched by Tech.
That's exactly right. That's what they're looking to see if the receiver touches the ball.
But keep in mind that the call on the field is that it was and was recovered by Arizona State. But does Jordan Davis touch the ball here? Do you feel there's indisputable video evidence to say you can reverse what has been ruled on the field, Richard?
I cannot see it at this point. They'll look at this very long and hard, and
that one was a pretty good view right there. That shot that we had, it looked like his hand didn't quite get there.
Watch Jordan Davis extending his hands here. Does he make contact with the football?
It will be his left hand that he reaches out.
I don't know whether they have enough video evidence.
Yeah, that one right there. It was the other shot. Steve Ackles in our truck. If you could show the one from the end zone, it's a better view where you don't see, or you can actually see looked like the ball went over his hand. Now watch the left hand.
This is Jordan Davis, the punt returner for Texas Tech.
Right there. See, it looks right there. It looks like he does not touch that.
Stephen Patrick was the SEC back judge just to the side that you could see there in frame. And then the ball bounces away. But the call on the field is that it was touched and recovered by Arizona State. So they would need that indisputable video evidence to reverse this call. And we'll see what they came up with. Matt Austin, the referee.
The field stands. First down.
So the play stands, saying that there was not the indisputable evidence to reverse the call.
Good job by the officials. And a break that Arizona State needed, Tess.
Remember, they had the break earlier on the kickoff, and now they get it here on the punt.
And after that first fumble, this Texas Tech defense came up big. Let's see if they can do it again.
Foster, this time a bit of running room as he is upended near the 20-yard line by Bruce Jones. Stay on the ground again, and it'll be a first down and more. Foster's going to walk right in. Touchdown, Sun Devils. So a costly mistake on special teams, and Arizona State cashes in.
E.J. Foster has a nice little redirect step in the middle of that run. that was the difference in the play.
Substituting here on the conversion as they showed an unconventional formation. Mike Norvell, the offensive coordinator, for a moment. And now Gonzalez lines up for the PAT. And a quick turnaround for Arizona State. Can they dig themselves out of the hole? 10 points off of the 2 fumbles by Texas.
He's a hot commodity, but he loves Stanford.
7:52 to go here in the National University Holiday Bowl. And we got 40 points on the board. Here is Davis. As he couldn't break free there. He's taken down by Alex Garut, the kicker who likes to get himself involved downfield.
Very active in coverage.
So Davis Webb, the true freshman for Texas Tech, already has tied the Holiday Bowl record for touchdown passes. And this is a game that's seen some great passing teams through the years. Jim McMahon had 4 back in 1980. Kavanaugh, K-State, and Major Applewhite.
Tess, in addition, he has 13 straight completed passes.
And there's an incompletion as he was looking for Jace Amaro, and Robert Nelson had the coverage there. Amaro was looking over, felt there was contact.
There was contact. And Nelson got there just as the ball did, and that's a good non-call by the officials. The ball was right where it had to be, however. Davis Webb is right on the money. Yeah, that's good non-call. Good football.
And that's a 260-pound tight end that Nelson put down. So that ends the 13 straight completion streak. Here's Washington as he reverses field on the inside between the tackles. Out to the 27-yard line, taken down by Fiso. Todd Graham has had a lot of work to do here in this first half. The head coach who calls the defense, dealing with the tempo of that man, Cliff Kingsbury, and the offensive style of the Red Raiders. 3rd and 5. Pressure straight up the middle, end off the edge, but it's complete for another first down as Davis Webb has been leaning on Jace Amaro.
Amaro has been money, but Webb has been even moneyer, if that's a word. And this kid is impressive. Watch Amaro. Watch how he uses his body. Doesn't really run away from everybody, but he gets in great position. And Webb, under pressure, has been phenomenal. He's been money on 3rd down.
Had 98 catches to lead the Big 12. And he's got 6 for 94 yards already tonight. Washington taken down by Alden Darby, the guy who came up with that muff punt moments ago.
Washington's interesting. Amaro's the guy who's been moving the chains, but Washington's a guy who's got some speed, and if you sleep on him, he can bust it. He's got nice speed in the hole as well. Can redirect really well.
Washington this time is bottled up, so it'll be third down. That's a down that they've been looking to Jace Amaro, who has made history in terms of the record in a season receiving yards for a tight end. FBS record now 1,334 receiving yards.
He's earned every one. And he's been big on third down, and guess what down it is right now?
Pressure on Webb, and that'll go incomplete. As this time he had to get it off quickly, and he was looking for Eric Ward, and the pressure came from Chris Young and Carl Bradford.
Well, look at the jump that Bradford got. It's not even close, man. He gets out of his stance fast. Same thing on the other side. That's as good a jump as you're going to find. Bradford is having himself a fantastic first half.
We haven't seen Reiner Slavin, the Texas Tech punter, yet tonight, and now here it is, their first punt. As he just tries to angle it and position it inside the 20-yard line. New Year's Day on ESPN, we will have two programs making their BCS debut. Bryce Petty and Baylor, the nation's leading offense, against Central Florida's Blake Bortles. Really good-looking quarterback if you haven't seen him, the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
Well, they both have big arms. They both use the whole field. Bryce Petty, they spread that field as wide as you can get it spread. To me, these quarterbacks, they're going to have their days. It's going to be which defense plays the best is going to carry the day.
That's New Year's Day at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. As Taylor Kelly is taken down by Will Smith.
And so right now what we've seen is Texas Tech has pretty much dominated this first half. But with this series right here, Arizona State is right back in the middle of it.
We're under 5 minutes to play here in the half, and Taylor Kelly, who's been statistically outstanding now for 2 years, has 14 yards passing. 2nd and 7. Kelly's going to tuck it, run it, and it'll be 3rd and short. This is a guy who had over 3,500 passing yards this year. He has 14 right now, being outdueled by a freshman, Davis Webb, who has 301.
Okay, so what Matt Wallerstadt, the defensive coordinator for Tech, has been doing on this down has been going with tight coverage and bringing pressure and forcing him to get rid of the ball quickly. See if he does it again.
Foster trying to fight his way to the line to make. It'll depend on the spot here as Smith made yet another tackle.
And the helmet off inside for the O-line. He's got to come out.
Remember, that yellow line is unofficial, so they will bring the chains out to measure here.
That was Tyler Salka, whose helmet came off, so they're replacing him right now.
We'll see if they have a first down to replace him on, or if it's 4th down. This was Salka engaged right at the end of that play.
He got pushed off by Kerry Hyder, number 91.
And they're short, Matt.
Yeah, they are. So what's the decision? This is interesting. Now to me, if you think you're a tough team, you got to go. And I know Todd Graham thinks he's a tough team.
Well,
Timeout,
ASU is going
Arizona
to
State.
talk it over. They're going to use their final timeout of this first half.
Talking to Todd Graham, one of the things that I appreciate him is he's kind of old school, and he kind of reminds me in some ways of the old Frank Kush teams. He has that kind of attitude. In fact, he talked with Coach Kush a lot, and he loves the fact that he wants to be physical.
He's also a guy that's had an eye for good coaching talent on his staffs, as you see the course that he's gone through. And Gus Malzahn, offensive guru, was Graham's offensive coordinator at Tulsa. Chad Morris, the Clemson offensive coordinator, was also one of his O-cords, and he's very high on Mike Norvell, the 32-year-old who is currently with him, who has come up under that group of guys who have really reinvented football as we know it in recent years with tempo and pace and spread.
Oh, there you go. That was a good explanation by the official.
Timeout allows for it. They quickly line up here on 4th and inches. And pushing ahead, Kelly with that extra surge from help in the backfield will give them the first down. That was Carl Bradford, the best defensive player we've seen so far in this first half, coming in and playing offense.
That's a nice job, but Bradford has just had a whale of a game here, an orca of a game, a Shamu of a game.
Richard Morales is in the booth with us, longtime SEC official. We'll ask him about that last play, that 4th down conversion. As Foster, look at the speed on Foster out to midfield. Richard, we know years ago the infamous Bush push with USC and Notre Dame. What did you see in terms of assistance there on that 4th down?
It looked to me that the offensive backfield came up and helped push the man forward through the hole and get the first down. That was a rule change this past year, and now it's allowable.
It is illegal. It's legal, rather.
Yes.
So Bradford coming in and grabbing hold of his quarterback and plowing forward. Moves the chains here as the clock is under 3:15. Arizona State trying to chip away. They found themselves down 3 scores early, now down 14. Play action now. Kelly, downfield he goes, but just beyond the arms of Jalen Strong, who was covered by Bruce Jones.
Nice job by Jones. Kept it to the inside, could play through the man to the ball. Keeps his eyes on it the whole way, make the play. See, the position is perfect.
Third and 2, Arizona State 0 for 6 on 3rd down conversions. 1 for 1, of course, the 4th down that kept this drive alive, but yet to convert a 3rd down tonight. Average distance has been over 7 yards on those 3rd down conversions. This short yardage, 3rd and 2. And Foster will take care of that as he charges ahead, drives the legs inside the 30-yard line.
This is kind of what we had expected coming into this game. We expected to see more DJ Foster and that offensive line taking care of that smaller defensive front.
They go up tempo here as Foster gets it inside the 25-yard line, taken down by Smith. They've been getting a lot of work out of DJ Foster tonight. Remember, Marion Grice, their star running back, is out injured. Kelly keeps it himself, lost his balance as he tried to get ahead for maybe 1.5 yards. Pete Robertson met him.
Once you start getting DJ Foster running inside, that's when Kelly starts getting the edge. They start concentrating so much on the inside run game with Foster. He's got himself 77 yards here. And then that's when Kelly will pull it and get up on the outside.
DeAndre Lewis now the back with Kelly here on 3rd and 5 out of the shotgun. Kelly tucking, running, first down, Arizona State. Under 2 minutes here in the half. Trying to bring this game back to a 1-possession score.
Like the way this team is fighting back.
Here's Lewis now. And he is met after gaining about 2 yards by Kerry Hyder.
So Smart slowing it down a little bit. You don't want to. You want to get the score, but you don't want to give a lot of time to Texas Tech.
2nd and 9. Kelly looking over his options, directing traffic, and then scooting out, leaving 1:08 on the clock. Remember, Arizona State without any timeouts. The 3rd down. They can get a 1st down inside the 5-yard line at about the 4. You can see the total yardage in the dominant passing game by Texas Tech. Kelly only with 14 yards passing. They've been on the ground for this long, sustained 13-play drive. There's Foster. A flag is down as he couldn't get free that time on 3rd down as Aguavin got that hand out to bring down Foster. We will check on the flag.
Nice tackle by Aguavin. He's the only one. I mean, that's tough, tackling guys out in space, but Aguavin did a nice job with his angle and got him on the ground.
Offside. Defense number 10 lined up in the neutral zone. Half the distance to the goal. Replay 3rd down.
It's Pete Robertson.
So he lined up there.
And Texas Tech and Cliff Kingsbury will take his last timeout.
That gives us a chance to check in with the studio and John Saunders. John?
All right, coming up at halftime, joined by Mark May and Lou Holtz. Mack Brown, his final game as head coach of Texas, but the Oregon Ducks spoiled that. The Music City Bowl, plus we'll look at tomorrow's bowl games, including Johnny Manziel. Will it be his final game as quarterback for Texas A&M? That is coming up. Back to you, Tess.
Look forward to it, John. Everybody interested to see how Mack Brown would react at the end of the Alamo Bowl there. You know, people always ask you, you talk about famous people we interact with, athletes and coaches. What kind of guy are they? Mack Brown, simply, and a lot of people say, oh, he's a great guy. He's truly a great guy.
He's a
he will be missed.
Sweetheart of a guy, a gentleman all the time. Yeah, he'll be missed. I'm a big Mack Brown fan.
Will Sutton, the All-America defensive lineman, hoping that his offense can get the job done here. 3rd and 1 after the penalty. Foster. It'll be 1st and goal. They're keeping that Texas Tech offense off the field, moving down the field, controlled and managed with the ground game.
They don't have to hurry here.
That was a bad snap, and Kelly was lucky just to come up with it, and it'll back them up to the 7-yard line. And to your point, there was no need to rush.
No, not at all. Kubensky with a bad snap.
So now some urgency on 2nd and goal. Kelly. And that clock is going to run. No timeouts for Arizona State.
3rd and goal.
It is 3rd and goal as they substitute to try to bring Zane Gonzalez and the kick team out there.
A lot of time. They've done this in practice 100 times. But not that.
That was 3rd down, and they could have clocked the ball, Matt.
That was not very smart management at all. Absolutely, it's 3rd down. Clock it. You don't have to kick it. Take your time.
They hustled for the substitution of special teams. They could have clocked the ball and managed 4th down reasonably without the pressure. They had 1st and goal at the 1, and it turns into that. No points.
Plenty of time. They decided to do this. They're going to get the 3 points. They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to rush. And then it's Shankadelic to the left.
Zane Gonzalez, who's been so good and so consistent this year, rushing out onto the field, And under the pressure there, he misses. First and goal at the 1 after a 16-play, 70-yard drive, and they come up empty. What a first half for Davis Webb.
Davis Webb was fantastic, but I don't understand why they didn't try to clock the ball. They had 12 or 13 seconds, plenty of time to do it. They decided to bring the thing at the field goal team on, and yeah, certainly you practice it as the clock's running down, but there was no need to.
Todd Graham has done this through the years, gathering his team right on the field before they go in, and he'll have plenty to talk about. Defensive adjustments, clock management, and how to approach this comeback. Let's go down to the field to Maria.
Coach, what happened on that last offensive series?
Well, we got to throw the ball away and not take a sack. We tried to go NASCAR there at the end. Should have got a field goal, missed a little chip shot. Did a poor job of managing the clock here. Taylor's got to throw the ball away right there, not having any timeouts. Had to burn some timeouts early that hurt us to get lined up. Just giving up too many big plays. Weren't prepared to play very well the first half. We can still win this game. We just got to settle down. We get the ball, go back and score, make it a one-score game, keep hammering away at it.
What kind of effect has the up-tempo and the offensive style of Texas Tech had on your defense?
It's really not that. I mean, we came into the game knowing we can't let them throw the ball over the top of us. That's all we done is giving up one big play after other in the passing game, and just had a lot of mental errors and things like that. Not being prepared. We're really flat. That's our job as coaches to get them ready.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Zane Gonzalez, the place kicker, came out on the field, but couldn't deliver for Arizona State. The missed field, people talking about what happened at the end of the first half, the mismanagement after the long drive by Arizona State, coming up empty, no points at all, the missed field goal there. But don't take away what Davis Webb and that Texas Tech offense did.
He has been fantastic. He's been everything that Cliff Kingsbury thought he would be and more. And you heard Todd Graham talking to our Maria Taylor about getting over the top. And this is a perfect example right here. He has been... he's got the 4 touchdown passes. He has created time. He's thrown passes with pressure right in his face. He has been absolutely fantastic. If he puts a second half together like he did in his first half, it bodes very well for Texas Tech.
He went to his All-American tight end Jace Amaro 6 times for 94 yards, and all 6 of those throws went for first downs. So Davis Webb with a tremendous first half, and now that Texas Tech defense will be right back out there after that 17-play drive by Arizona State before half. This is Jalen Strong, the starting receiver, with the return out past the 20. Maria Taylor with the report. What do you have, Maria?
Well, Cliff Kingsbury is very proud of the way his true freshman quarterback played in that first half. He says he's playing with confidence. He's really seeing the field. He's picking apart Arizona State's man coverage. He did say defensively he would love to get some turnovers, and some bad news for the Texas Tech defense. They will not have their safety, Trey Porter. He's concussed, will not be back in the game today.
Thanks, Maria. Meanwhile, on the other side, Taylor Kelly for Arizona State. This is a guy who has moved into the top 5 in the record books in 5 different categories. Only 14 yards passing in that first half for the Sun Devils. As they stay on the ground with DJ Foster, he had success on that long drive to end the first half.
Yeah, and as that first half wore on, it looked like the offensive line of Arizona State started to take over and dictate towards that defensive front of Texas Tech.
2nd and 2, and they will move the chains here. Foster gets it out to the 33-yard line.
Taylor Kelly has not had a big night throwing the football here. However, he has run the ball, and that looks to be the plan. And they're continuing doing that now. What that does, it eats the clock. It keeps the ball in their hands.
And it does that. It can open up the play-action passing game to Rick Smith.
Exactly right.
Richard 18-yard receptions, the longest completion tonight for Arizona State. Just their 8th pass attempt of this game. And that was the 31st run, and it goes for a 2-yard loss as Will Smith read it well.
Will Smith is having himself a pretty solid game here. Also very active. Again, not the biggest guy. But look how he works off the block. That's really well done.
Eight tackles for Smith tonight. 2nd and 12. The 44-yard line is Foster.
Foster's going to break one of them yet. He hits the line of scrimmage pretty darn quickly.
3rd and 6. As they go with tempo here, he pulls it out, and on the option, Kelly has a lot of room off the edge, and there he goes. And just like that, Arizona State making it a one-possession game. 44-yard touchdown run by Taylor Kelly.
Tess on 2nd down, he handed it off. On 3rd down, he just pulls it out, and there's nobody on the edge. And then he just outruns everybody, outruns the angles, and it's gone.
Sam McGuavin took that inside angle and then had a chase from behind. As Kelly now with 114 rushing yards on the night. And the extra point is up and good. Remember, they trailed 27-6 in the 2nd quarter. Got the ball to open up the 2nd half, and they strike first. 7-point margin now. Has cut into that Texas Tech lead. Taylor Kelly with the 44-yard touchdown run, his first career 100-yard game now. This is a high and short kickoff fielded by Reginald Davis. And Davis has room. If he gets this block, he could. As Bradley Marquez paved the way, and Reginald Davis takes it all the way.
Marquez has the block at the end, but there were a few of his friends up front that put him in that position. You know the impressive thing, if you look at that return, there's a lot of starters on that return team. Jason Morrow's right in the middle of it. But watch them. Watch Marquez 4. He's just going to lead him through. There's some nice blocks inside, and then Marquez finishes off here. Just gives him room down the sideline, and that's all he needed. 6 quick.
A 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. As Reginald Davis, a guy that they're going to lean on in the coming years, just a redshirt freshman. He was a tremendous high school star. He won a state title back in his small town in Texas. And he takes what was Arizona State momentum and he throws it right back in their face. New Year's Day on the ESPN family of networks. They'll get started at noon. Nebraska and Georgia, UNLV, North Texas, Wisconsin, South Carolina, and Iowa LSU in the Outback Bowl. Capital One Bowl, January 1st. That running game of Wisconsin. Jadeveon Clowney before he's off cashing paychecks one last time. Remember how thrilling he was last year on New Year's Day.
Oh, absolutely. Had the big play everybody talked about for whole off season. But that Wisconsin run game, they're no joke. And Melvin Gordon's a good player along with James White. That's a good 1-2 punch.
They're combined for 2,800 rushing yards this year for Wisconsin. Of course, Arizona State was involved with a controversial ending with Wisconsin back in September when the officials allowed for that clock to run out on Wisconsin instead of the potential field goal attempt. Now it's Robert Nelson on the return as he brings it out to the 22-yard line following Reginald Davis's 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And back to a 2-touchdown lead for the Red Raiders.
Tanaha, Texas.
Won a state title there in Reginald Davis.
Well, he's got some jets.
Kelly showed his speed last time out there. This time they're going to pass to get this drive going, and he gets it complete. And fighting ahead was Ozier. Kevin Ozier, the senior receiver, former walk-on who earned a scholarship.
That's a great story. Ozier.
First down now, Kelly to pass again. They go with the screen this time with Rick Smith, but right at the line of scrimmage, he was corralled that time. That was Tanner Jacobson.
A good rally around the ball also. Jacobson was one of the first ones there, but they're doing a good job defensively of getting to the football all the time.
Pistol formation now with Foster as the running back. And here he comes downhill as he pushes it out past the 35-yard line. Kelly looks over to Mike Norvell. 3rd down and 6. A bit of pressure, and then he stepped up, and they found him.
They've been having great success with that tonight, the Texas Tech defense. Kerry Hyder ends up making the play, but he really needs to turn around and thank his secondary because there was no place to go with the ball. And Kelly had to pull that thing down fast. You see, they brought 5. Hyder ends up making the play, but the coverage down the field was the key.
That's the 4th 3-and-out for Arizona State tonight. There's Hawks' wobbly punt, which was fielded by Jordan Davis at about the 31-yard line.
Not a good punt.
Well, Arizona State did what they want to do when the second half opened up. And then Texas Tech responded. Everybody taking the elevator up to the ship's deck. Boy, and Davis Webb has taken the elevator up in the stats here with 301 and 4 touchdown passes tonight. He has been rising to the penthouse as Texas Tech works DeAndre Washington. A little attitude here from that offensive line, trying to drive forward at the end of that play.
Let's see if they still put the pedal to the metal and keep the pace going. That served them well in the first half. And I would think they'd have to keep on doing the same exact thing. That's the style that's been working for them. And then 3rd down, Jay Samaro has been absolutely nothing but money.
2nd and 6. Here's Webb.
This read.
Bradford brought some pressure on him.
This will bring up a 3rd down. And tomorrow, every catch he's had in the first half, the end result was a 1st down. See the top tight end prospects. Safarian Jenkins up in Washington. Carolina has Ebron, but Amaro's putting on a show here.
Yeah, and there's
I like him better than Safarian Jenkins.
Report out of our ESPN college football insider Joe Shad that Amaro will be turning pro after this game. Play clock coming down, and they're going to have to use a timeout. By the time he got set, he was staring at about 2 seconds on that play clock. Let's give you a closer look at the tight end who led the Big 12 in receptions, who set an FBS record for receiving yards by a tight end in a season tonight. Now 1,334 was the mark when he broke the record.
Yeah, what we're showing you here is, he uses his body extremely well, as you can see right here. He runs good routes. Doesn't always get great separation, but he understands. Here's what I like about him. He has great awareness. He has great awareness of zone and man concepts. He understands exactly where he has to get to. And the biggest thing is when the ball's in the air, he goes and gets it. And that's all you really need from your tight end spot. Keep the games moving. Amaro's been the guy.
If he's the target here on 3rd and 6.
He's in the slot right down here. Like him in those crossing routes. or right at the sticks.
And 6'5", 260 Amaro, and just to the inside is 5'6", 160 Grant.
Pressure. He's got him.
Flag is down as it goes incomplete.
He had Amaro. Amaro had it. He stopped right where the sticks were, but he decided to push it up the field. Let's see what happens. Here comes the pressure. It's picked up.
Holding, defense number 3. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Marius Randall, who's made a couple of big stops in this game, got caught with the hold. Tess, still a quiet night for Will Sutton.
Sure is.
Really haven't said his name very much, and he's two-time All-American. There he is, number 90.
First down run by Washington, just a couple of yards there. Will Sutton, who grew up in Corona, California, so a lot of family and friends made the drive down here to San Diego. He's a young man who made a promise to his parents that he'd get his degree. Did it a couple weeks ago.
Watch inside. Watch the hold. See him right there. That's where they're going to call the holding.
So on a previous play that earned them the first down. Now 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard run. Play action. Webb.
Nice touch.
And he gets it to Grant out of the backfield, who gives a stutter step before he kicks ahead for another first down for Texas Tech.
That was his Walter Payton imitation. Walter used to do that. Walter, a little bit bigger man. And you didn't like when he came out of that break, let me tell you.
This time they tried to get the screen going, but it never had a chance as Anthony Jones was blanketing him.
Yeah, that's a great job of anticipating and breaking on the ball. Jones read it really well. Weren't able to get a hat on him, and he finished that play off.
2nd and 15 now.
And what Todd Graham said at halftime to Maria Taylor, he said, we haven't been able to stop him from pushing the ball over our heads.
I'm going to be a couple yards short there with Jay Samaro having to go down low at the 37-yard line.
This is against the zone, and Amaro sees it right away. Okay, he's going to sit back down inside, knows where he has to get. He had to hit the deck because the ball was thrown just a tad behind him.
They're looking to go with the direct snap that time to Sadale Foster. And Arizona State didn't like the personnel group and formation, so they're going to take a timeout. Reminder that New Year's Day on ESPN, it's the 100th Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio. Big Ten champs Michigan State going up against number 5 Stanford. 4:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Tess, how about the game Connor Cook had in that championship game?
Threw for over 300 yards against Ohio State.
But really, the
defense is what these two teams are all about.
That's what it really comes down to. It. You can take a look at what the Spartans have done there this season, and they're playing with great confidence. Mark D'Antonio's done a fantastic job. Pat Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator. That's a good defense. I'm looking forward to that game. That's going to be an exciting, old-time smash mouth game.
Good matchup of styles. Number 5 and number 4 in the 100th Rose Bowl game. Here's the 3rd down. Webb to pass. And they will move the chains yet again with Jordan Davis.
Yeah, Davis, Darby had coverage on him. They went man across the board. Darby played off him. That was like stealing. He just took 3 steps and threw it to him.
Webb's been seeing everything well tonight. Fake the pitch to Ward and come down to a wide open near side, DeAndre Washington.
Well, you said it, Tess. Webb he's seeing the whole field.
First down run now, Washington. And he keeps his feet going inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, Texas Tech.
Look at Cliff Kingsbury. He knows what has been helping him the whole time. Look, let's go, get moving. He wants them up there as fast as he can because pace has worked in their favor.
And it's working here. Both Williams and Washington in the backfield here on 1st and goal with the freshman Davis Webb.
Watch Amaro in the slot. They're going to come with the pressure off the corner.
Here it is, and they run right into it. So it'll be 2nd and goal.
Anytime you see a defender with another one on right behind him, but in line, that's an indicator that you're going to get a blitz. Webb's got to be able to see that a little bit quicker, and I don't know if they really give him the freedom to be able to change things at the line of scrimmage.
Second and goal, pressure right up the middle. To the end zone they go, and it was batted away as he was looking for Jace Amaro. Anthony Jones got up defensively.
The flag.
Flag is in the end zone.
Flag's
Pass
right.
interference, defense 31. Ball in place to the 2-yard line, automatic first down.
That was Jones who had coverage there. Alden Darby was also in on the play, but it was Jones who was locked up with Amaro.
You're going to go with the Wildcat.
Yeah, this is Foster on the direct snap, looking patiently for blocks, but he doesn't find enough that time as Demarius Randall was quick to get to him.
Bo Carpenter 72. Morales 56 on the inside along with Castor 75. They are playing an excellent game.
Here's the personnel group in formation they scored on 4th down earlier, and straight up the middle, denied that time, was Kenny Williams.
He's still not, I don't know if his knee was ever down. This Kenny Williams has phenomenal balance, Tess. Phenomenal. Rarely do you see him get knocked down. You can get a hit on him, but he rarely goes down.
He's compact, 5'9", 225.
Yeah, it's his balance is amazing. Watching him on tape, he has a unique ability to stay on his feet.
Remember, they passed out of this formation personnel group earlier on 4th down tonight.
Fumble.
Oh, that was a fumble exchange right there, and Davis Webb was fortunate to just lay back on that ball.
It was delivered. Package was delivered. He just didn't quite get both hands on it.
So talking over a 4th and goal here with Cliff Kingsbury. As that play clock is coming down, so they will be put into a timeout situation.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Now they're going to take the
4th
delay
down.
of game and send in the kicker and help him with the angle. Save a timeout as they used one earlier. So Ryan Buston will come in with his 27th attempt of the year. This just an angled short 23-yarder. And a 17-point lead for Texas Tech. There, Andre Williams and Kadeem Carey take it right through Rice, Mississippi State. And then the Chick-fil-A Bowl at 8 p.m. Duke and Johnny Football, number 24, number 21, Duke and Texas A&M from Atlanta. All 3 games Tuesday on ESPN.
Andre Williams had a fantastic year from Parkland High School.
Oh, there you.
Yeah.
Robert Nelson on the return out to the 23-yard line. There have been so many great players through the years that come through this Holiday Bowl. And how about the 25th anniversary of the guy who perhaps had the greatest single season in college football history, Barry Sanders, who went for 222 yards, 5 touchdowns, didn't even play in the 4th quarter when Oklahoma State beat Wyoming 62-14. That was number 15 Wyoming back then.
Well, Tess, Barry Sanders is the finest runner I have ever seen in as long as I have ever watched pro football.
And that one season, that Heisman Trophy winning year, many say the greatest year anybody's had in college football. As Kelly was pressured, had to throw it away. As Dartwan Bush coming in. Heisman winner, Walter Camp winner that year. The single season record, 26-28. 2,628 rush yards. And they didn't include the bowl games in your stats back then.
Exactly. I remember watching him in the bowl game, his senior year, watching him run, standing there and with my teammates saying, there's no way he does it at this level. And of course, he did it for the next 10 years. He was an amazing player.
And speaking of amazing players, and he was the Walter Camp Player of the Year. 3rd down and 7 coming up here.
The recipe for 3rd down for Texas Tech has been bring pressure. Force Kelly to have to pull it down. Okay. See if they do anything here.
Show a bit of pressure.
And they do bring it. They bring 5 and it's man.
And they forced him to throw low into the inside.
And the pressure got there. He has not been good with pressure on him.
Hyder and Robertson getting to Kelly, and you can tell that he took a lick there.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice stunt. He did a really nice job of coming around in a stunt. You can see him up top. He's going to come right around inside on a nice loop. And it opens up clean. Pete Robinson hit him right square in the kisser.
Hawk on to punt away again.
Another bad punt.
Davis fair catches it at the 44. We were mentioning Barry Sanders, Heisman winner in '88, 25th anniversary of his exceptional Holiday Bowl. Won the Walter Camp at Yale, and boy, somebody else was a Walter Camp All-America back in 1978. Mr. Millen from Penn State up there at Yale, accepting his Walter Camp All-American. Everybody on our crew, Matt, wants to congratulate you and celebrate with you, as many of us will be there when you are going to be honored at this year's Walter Camp All-America dinner as the alumnus of the year.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. There's so many more people. Trust me, there's a lot more people who's deserving. But,
well, here's what I like about it. Not just your career they're honoring you for your contributions off the field, you and your family and everything you do for the good works that you're involved with. So congratulations, partner. We're all going to be celebrating with you up in New Haven for that special night at Walter Camp. Kenny Williams here on the carry for Texas Tech.
I had a big neck, didn't I?
You still do. It hasn't gotten really small.
Yeah, I think for my neck, it's just slung right down to my waist.
It'll be fun for you to be back there with some of your old buddies, and of course the current crop of All-Americans that'll be honored that night.
It's a great All-American team.
Here's Davis Webb. Will the hot night continue? That was dangerous as he floated it out there. Let's go down to the field. Flag is down. Let's check in with Maria for a moment.
Well, right now, Todd Graham is really trying to get after Will Sutton. He did tell us that the defense feeds off of him. He spent some time huddling up with him, trying to get him going, and then you could see Sutton really gathering his team together, talking to the defensive line after his coach talked to him, guys.
Haven't called his name enough for Arizona State. Todd Graham said in 28 years of coaching, he may be the best game day player I've had. And he talks about he doesn't know if there's another player he has seen mature more. But tonight, a guy who's been so dominant in recent years in the Pac-12 just has not been able to play a major role in disrupting this Texas Tech offense.
And he's from this area. He's got a bunch of people here.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 65 offense. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
We watch Will Sutton. You can see him right there, number 90. Yeah, he's just, he doesn't look, this has not been a stellar night for him. However, the night is not over.
See if they can come up with a stop here. 3rd and 8.
Jay Samaro time. Oh, that's a heck of a throw.
Sure was, as he spotted up Eric Ward, and he's limping at the end of that play. A 345-yard night.
Offense 65. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
So this is going to come back.
Jalen Brown. That's the hold right there. Watch Brown. So he just hugs him. He hugs him, stays on top of it. Yeah, they're going to call that every time.
Third and 18 now. Setting up the screen as they let him leak right through. And here's Williams with blockers in front. And a first down. A flag comes down as Williams surged ahead past midfield.
That's a heck of a call. That's a great call by Cliff Kingsbury. The fact that they brought pressure surprised me. I mean, it's 3rd and 20. Keep everything in front of you. But Todd Graham rolled the dice. Kingsbury had the perfect call for the play. The flag at the end. Let's see what happens.
Holding. Offense 22. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
It's on Amaro. They dialed up the right call right into that pressure. But here's how they got Amaro.
Yeah, well, see how he's on Randall, and that's a good call. I mean, that's, yeah, even the push at the end, but he latched on to him. And Jay Samaro's 260 pounds. Spur him. Randall did a nice job of trying to fight it off, but sets up another 3rd down.
3rd and 9 after the spot of that foul. Play clock down to 3. Webb overthrew a wide open Bradley Marquez.
Todd Graham continues to bring pressure. He is not backing off at all. Carl Bradford and Conway both were able to get there. But 3rd and long, 2 times, they brought pressure.
Rick Slavin on the punt, and Robert Nelson back to receive. And it is a short punt that takes a good bounce and then will go out of bounds. 3:03 remaining, and Arizona State trailing by 17.
That Erxleben name sounds familiar to you fans out there. That's Russell Erxleben's boy.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah. In fact, he was on that Walter Camp All-American team back in '78.
Played for Texas. So what does Arizona State's offense have on them now?
One thing they do have, Tess, is plenty of time.
And quick strike as they get it complete out past the 30-yard line to Jalen Strong, who had 7 100-yard receiving games this year.
There's some good hitting going on out there.
Foster was on the receiving end of that. He took it from Terrence Bullitt, Will Smith. First 100-yard rushing tandem since 2001, as Kelly and Foster have gone for 114 and 110.
Foster was nursing a knee coming into this game. It looks like he's not doing too good right now.
So here's Kelly. Depending on the mark here. Probably be a yard short. Kerry Hyder with the tackle. It's the last play with Foster. And he got sandwiched and then bent back.
Looked like he landed awkwardly on Will Smith, and that wince tells you he's not feeling too good.
R.J. Robinson is in at running back right now. And he will pick up the first down, tackled by Aguavin. Now, Marion Grice out with an injury, their star running back. Foster's been carrying the load tonight. Now Robinson getting time as Foster comes back in here for first down. Kelly threw it far to the outside of Strong as Dartwan Bush was tracking him down.
Yeah, Bush had the chase on, and that forced that throw because he had Strong. Strong got behind the defender. Kelly had to rush his throw and push it out there too far.
And look at the big hole right up the middle for Foster that time.
Well, that Winston didn't last too long, did it? he jumped right back on his horse. But he hits that hole fast. When he sees it, he hits another gear.
Kelly kept it that time. He was able to just twist with Pete Robertson for some positive yardage.
DJ Foster has 129 yards right now. Is a career high for him. And he's not done yet. There's a lot more in him.
Went for 124 and a couple of touchdowns against Arizona when Grice was out injured. Play action. And there's some pressure up the middle against Kelly as he launched it, but Sam Aguavin was quick to get to him.
He feels the pressure and he gets rid of it. Guavin does a nice job. Of course, Guavin the backer means they brought pressure inside with another blitz. This has been a blitz fest here tonight.
Sure has. Forwards have been rolling the dice. Sometimes that's produced some big gainers offensively, but not as many as Arizona State would like. 3rd and 8. And the slant this time is going to come up short. As Strong was the target, Kelly had to get rid of it fast, did to Strong. Coming up on the final half minute here of the 3rd quarter, and will be a 4th down.
It's a nice tackle, though. They played his zone. They're going to go for it. It's the right call.
And he lets the quarter run down. So they will start the 4th quarter facing a 4th and 1, trailing by 17 here in San Diego. ESPN 3. Start of the 4th quarter here. 37-20, Texas Tech on top of number 14 Arizona State, who's facing a 4th down and 1.
Got to defend the edge.
Somehow Taylor Kelly ducked under the rush there and then was able to go ahead and get the first down.
Well, you said it right, Tess. I don't know, it looks like he got hit. Bush had him and he ducked under it. That's a nice effort by Taylor Kelly.
And now Foster for just 2.5 yards, tackled by Bush. Arizona State's been trying to chip away. They made it a 1-possession game in the 3rd quarter, only to see special teams cost them as Reginald Davis had a 90-yard kickoff return for Texas Tech. Kelly now looking to pass and then had to tuck it as it was Bush again. He's been very active, the senior Dartwan Bush.
Who's back healthy, and he'd been banged up. He was one of the guys that they were thrilled to get back and be healthy. Bush has made his presence all night long.
They didn't have him during that 5-game losing streak. Suffered a leg injury against Iowa State. 3rd and 8. Kelly with time, and he threw it low to a wide open Kevin Ozier. Ozier broke to the inside, had space, and Kelly missed him.
Yeah, Kelly has this, and it's low. Ozier, he's got to go down to dig that bad boy out. I mean, and I like that Ozier kid, but you can't let that's your opportunity. Go get it. Even if you have to bury your face in the ground, that's okay. You go get that ball.
Zane Gonzalez, the freshman, on for the 33-yard attempt. And he puts it through. So it's back to a 14-point lead for Texas Tech.
2-score game, Tess.
By Vizio on New Year's Day, Stanford and Michigan State. The Stanford team won the Pac-12, the title game 38-14 over this Arizona State squad. 517 yards, averaged 23.1 yards per completion against the Sun Devils defense that day. Short kickoff will be returned by Davis. Remember, he had the 90-yarder earlier. Special teams have definitely played a role here tonight. We had an extra point missed, and then we had the turnover that really helped Arizona State get back in this game. Before the half, there was a missed opportunity for Arizona State, and then Davis took it 90 just when Arizona State felt like they were gaining momentum and they were starting to get control of things. The game went right back the other direction when Reginald Davis took that kickoff return all the way.
Texas Tech, as you can see the numbers, 347 yards in the first half, only 80 here at the start of the 4th. And that's all throwing. Ooh.
Webb was looking for that crossing route again.
No, what happened there?
You see the miscommunication between Amaro and Webb as each is trying to explain to the other.
There's the pressure. That should have been caught.
Well, Fiso jumped in front. And now they go to the ground game with Washington, and it'll be 3rd and about 2.
I like that Washington kid. I think he's a good little player.
Just a sophomore, so they will be looking at him for more production next year. Played as a true freshman, suffered an ACL in 2011, missed last year, and has really worked very hard to come back.
43 yards here tonight. Here's the 3rd down. See what they do. Pressure.
Here's pressure again. Both backers are coming. They pick it up and they get it complete. And once again, it's the speedy Jakeem Grant.
That is a playmaker. That Jakeem Grant is a fun. You know what he reminds me of? Eric the Flea Allen out of Michigan State. He had the same trait. You couldn't put him down. He would make you miss. 5'6", 160 pounds, and we're being kind, but boy, can he play.
And that big play crosses midfield for a first down for the Red Raiders. And now Washington trying to weave his way inside, running, taken down by Fiso.
This is smart by Cliff Kingsbury, slowing the pace down a little bit, eat the clock up, run the ball a little bit.
The difference here in the first half to second half. 4 touchdown passes in the first half that tied the Holiday Bowl record for touchdown passes in a game. Webb on 2nd and 7. as it looked like Ward may have lost his footing on his break, and pressure came from Chris Young against Davis Webb.
You know, I wish we would have tracked how many times Todd Graham has brought a blitzer. He has brought pressure constantly all game long. Webb has burned him, and he keeps on bringing it. Looks like they're going to do it again.
Arizona State doesn't have a sack tonight against Webb. He's been able to get it out of his hands quickly.
Yep, here they come again.
Now they walk him right down into the box. They bring pressure up the middle, and the crossing route was overthrown that time. So it'll be 4th down, and the punt team will come on out.
That one was on Webb, because he had an open receiver in the middle of the field. Looked like it was Amaro.
Right. Eric Slavin. Looking just to pin this here. And Nelson with the return. Out past the 20-yard line. Hey, Matt, 11:42 to go. Arizona State only trailing by 14. And a lot of time to play. We will see how it plays out. Play action now. Kelly, as he gets it complete to Chris Coyle, who's been a very productive tight end in recent years, but we haven't seen much of him tonight as they have committed to the run game.
Well, here comes Arizona State with the pace.
Trailing by 14.
It looks like they might measure that. Yep, they're going to measure that.
I just turned to you, and we were in the break. I said, Matt, at what point do they go play action and they start taking some chances and picking things up here and getting this offense into a different place?
Well, they've only thrown for 74 yards, Tess. It's not been a big night throwing the football for Taylor Kelly. He has run, however, for 129 yards.
Had the 44-yard touchdown run.
It's a nice catch, plucking it out of the air.
44 runs framed against 18 pass plays. There's a first down. It was thrown behind into the outside of Coyle. And more pressure came from Bush.
Yeah, you got more. Darquan Bush, more pressure. He's been a presence in tonight's game. He's made a difference, and they haven't thrown the ball a lot, and the times that they have, Bush has been in there quite a few times.
Second and 10. Able to control that snap, going downfield, looking for Strong, and he comes up with it. It was a lot of contact down around the 25-yard line. The flag came in as Strong was able to corral it. We'll see which way it goes as they walk back.
And to me, there's no flag. There shouldn't have been a flag thrown there.
Looking back at the ball, just positioning himself.
And I didn't see an offensive.
Pass interference. Offense number 21.
I missed that one. That's the second one.
Repeat second down.
Typically, it's when there's the full extensions and you can actually see the elbows lock and the extension of the arm to create space.
Well,
what do you see here?
Nothing. I mean, his hands came out, but he never touched him. That's the second time that's happened tonight where he's extended his arms and made no contact.
We have Richard Morales, longtime SEC official in the booth with us. Richard, how do you read that?
Well, it looks like the field judge saw the extension of the hand and saw the separation after, so he felt there was enough.
Well, he saw the extension of the hands, but do you see contact being made with the extension of the hands? There's the extension of the hands.
And there's no contact.
Then he brings the hands back to his chest before he even reaches the defender.
And he probably was straight lined and only saw the separation.
There you go. So it was the angle the official saw that caused the flag. And this is complete this time to Ozier. But it was 2nd and 25 after that call went against Arizona State. Third down here. Under 10.5 minutes to play, trailing by 2 touchdowns. They only bring 4 this time. And with that time, here's Foster easily advancing.
Did a nice job. Nice job of flooding that zone and getting people down in front of Foster. And all they did was pull the defenders back. Foster caught it back underneath and took advantage of the space that was vacated.
Kelly, downfield he goes. And look what he finds. He dropped it. Rick Smith had it every which way, and somehow, some way, comes up empty.
Rick Smith has to maintain control of this ball. There it is. 1, 2, and he knew. He does not maintain it through the catch. That's a perfectly thrown ball. Rick Smith came up with nothing.
Justice Nelson, defensive back, was sprawled out on the grass. And Smith doesn't get the touchdown. Whistles came in there.
Timeout.
Before the
Right
play.
Snap. Timeout. Arizona State.
Arizona State uses a timeout, their second here. 1 remaining for head coach Todd Graham. Arms folded. That kind of night with Rick Smith. What could have been, what should have been, but what wasn't. Holiday Bowl in San Diego, where number 14 Arizona State, with a giant missed opportunity moments ago. Rick Smith dropped the would-be touchdown pass, now facing a 2nd and 10, and Kelly is tracked down by Aguavin.
Nice play by Aguavin, inside out on full speed. Now, Kelly's got to feel that, and he does, because he starts taking off and running. Here comes Aguavin, but he's got outside the pocket. He's got to get rid of that ball. Cannot take a sack. Sets up 3rd and really long. Nice play by Aguavin.
There's been no hesitation with that front 7 of Texas Tech. They have just gotten after it all night long.
Yeah, they really have.
So now a 3rd and 18.
Going to play a zone to keep everything in front of you.
Kelly brings it to the near side, looking to extend the play. Had to tuck it and run it. There was nothing available downfield.
That's smart, good defense all the way around. You saw they rushed 3, which meant they dropped 8. And so they had their 5 under, 3 deep. What they want to do is force the throw anywhere from here under. There's nowhere to go with that ball. See, they're not letting anybody behind them, and then you let them, you're going to throw it underneath, we'll make the tackle, or take off and run.
Alex Garut, rugby style, directional punt here that takes a bounce inside the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5, and is downed in prime position. And Shane McCullen on coverage, downing it inside the 5. 8:35 to go. Beautiful look at the Star of India, Maritime Museum, down by long-time Texas Longhorns legend. His final game.
I know one thing, Tess. LeBron can still play tight end in this league. I think I can get him a job.
You better believe he can. Huge college football fan. Sure he'll be watching Friday night with the Buckeyes and Clemson going at it. The Discover Orange Bowl. Passing out of his end zone is Davis Webb. Speaking of a guy who has that kind of frame, 6'5", 260, Jason Amaro with the reception.
You know, LeBron James was a stud high school football player.
Yep, Akron, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio, yeah. He was, he made the right choice, I think.
I think that worked out fairly well.
Not too bad, not too bad. Still time, LeBron.
2nd and 4 now. Webb is up to 384 yards passing. Kenny Williams can't get any traction that time as Will Sutton disrupted things on the inside. So it'll be a 3rd down.
Okay, there's 7.5 minutes to go here. This is a time for a play. Somebody on one side of the ball. It's kind of critical for this Arizona State defense. It's a 2-score game. They've got to get a stop here. Conversely, Texas Tech, somebody needs to make a play. I'm putting my money on either Amaro or Grant. Grant's up in that slot. Oh, they're going tight man coverage again.
Look at them pressing right up on the line here on 3rd and 4. And they pick it up. Clutch catch by Eric Warden. Look at him fight. Out to the 27-yard line just when Texas Tech and Cliff Kingsbury needed a big one. They get it.
Davis Webb has been all over. That's a nice rub on the top right there. Ward takes advantage of a rub, and then, boy, he just refuses to go down, Tess. What a great effort by Ward.
Critical conversion there as Davis Webb now has 400 yards passing. He's at 403.
You know, lost in all that, Jakeem Grant, that was a nice pick, well, rub that they took advantage of.
DeAndre Washington working behind that left side, tackled by Sutton. You keep talking about these pass patterns, the pick, quote-unquote, rubs. You know, Richard Morales with the SEC officials for many years with us here. Your point there, Richard?
Yeah, this inside receiver just releases straight down the field and doesn't go to actually try to target the receiver coming back, the defender coming back.
Yeah.
And the other guy just cuts right off of him, the other receiver. It's perfectly legal.
Yeah, it's absolutely legal. The difference is they do target him. They just don't hit him. That's the key.
2nd and 7 run here by Sadale Foster.
And Tess, just to clean that up, see, in the old days when they pick a dedicated pick, you make it look, you just attack the guy. That's what you do. And so
that's the intent.
That is the intent. And so rubs now is while you're still, the intent is still to get him, you run right to him, but then just go past him.
Here's another 3rd down situation for Texas Tech. They had the big reception to get out of that hole, and now a 3rd and 9. Clock coming up on the 5-minute mark. 11 of 15 on their 3rd down conversions. Pressure straight up the middle. They pick it up. Webb extending and then throws it away.
Smart.
So they will be punting with 5:02 remaining, in Arizona State, you know, they've knocked on the door. They've had opportunities. They've come up empty. And here they'll have 5 minutes remaining, trailing by 14.
Tess, they had a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. They came away with no points. They had a perfectly thrown bomb by Taylor Kelly to Rick Smith, and he dropped it in the end zone. There's your 14 points right there. They still have to make those points up. The 5 minutes left to go.
Nelson to field the Erxleben punt as he puts his heels on the 32-yard line. Oh, and good coverage downfield. Kenny Williams starting running back. Here are the missed opportunities. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line in the first half. And there was the bad snap on 2nd down. Clock was running down. Instead of clocking it or throwing it to the end zone, they rushed the special teams group onto the field. and it's a missed field goal. Then on the last drive, you just got to hit lotto tickets like this.
Rick Smith, it was a perfectly thrown ball, but Rick Smith has got to make that catch. It's inexcusable.
Those are the 14 points that would have us tied at 37. Here's Kelly. So much room in front of him. As he looked to the near side, he saw his receiver Ozier able to block downfield, and he took advantage. First down in midfield for the Sun Devils. Kelly drops back, goes underneath, and Foster is corralled at about the 47-yard line. That was Will Smith out there with the running back.
They got it now. They need pace now. Now's the time to hurry.
Second and 7. Kelly looking at Strong. No flag came in that time. Remember, Strong was nabbed for offensive pass interference, a questionable call earlier in this fourth quarter. That time covered by Bruce Jones, and they got tangled up.
And there were two of them. Now now that one, that's a good non-call. Now he locked down. The defender locked his hand, but Strong was kind of had his hand to push off. That's good. They're letting him play.
Couldn't get his hand free of Bruce Jones there. Third and 7.
Oh, nice jam. That is a great jam by Bruce Jones on Strong. That is fantastic corner play.
Bruce Jones, the boundary corner there against Jalen Strong.
Yeah. Bruce Jones walked up on Strong and just put his hands right in his chest and disrupted the whole pattern.
And now it's a 4th and 7. Desperation time for Arizona State to keep things alive here. Needs to get to that line. Foster, and a flag is down as Foster was able to lower his head and drive ahead, but we will check on the penalty flag.
That's usually in the area of pass defense.
As Todd Graham anxiously awaits to see if they still have a chance.
Holding, defense number 7. That penalty's declined. Play results in a first down.
They get the nice conversion, but this is what I was talking about, playing great defense 2 plays earlier. Watch the great, look at that. Look how he disrupts Strong completely. That is just fantastic defense. And because of that jam at the line, when you're walked up for a reason. Get your hands on the defender and disrupt the timing, and he did a fantastic job of doing that.
Kelly's going to go for it all right here. And it is intercepted by Justice Nelson.
Nelson does a fantastic job of staying on top of the receiver. The ball took off on him. Cameron Smith had inside position. Nelson stayed on top. Had the ball been thrown to the inside, he had a chance. But it took off on him, and Justice Nelson comes down with a pick. Tess, keep in mind, if this score holds, this was a game that was projected that Texas Tech would lose by 22 points.
Arizona State, overwhelming favorite. A reminder that live coverage of the post-game trophy presentation presented by Capital One can be seen immediately following the game on ESPN3. As Washington will look to chew some clock here under 3.5 minutes to play. This Arizona State team, 14th in the country. 2 losses to Stanford, a loss to Notre Dame, an impressive run in between against a Texas Tech squad that many felt was exposed in the back half of the schedule. They ran up to 7-0. They lost 5 straight. Some of those games they were rolled over in. But boy, oh boy, did they show up tonight.
And I think what really their defense showed up. And I think, you know, just talking to Matt Wallerstedt, their defensive coordinator, he thought that he was going to have a real chance because they were healthy. He felt like by having his team back full strength, it really would make a big difference, and he was proved right.
Our Capital One player of the game is the freshman quarterback Davis Webb, 403 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, ties a Holiday Bowl record. Did it all in the first half.
He's been impressive here tonight.
He's managed the second half well. Those 4 touchdown passes in the first half.
He's
he
pretty
just
accurate.
Came out and hit the gas pedal early.
Pretty darn accurate, Tess.
And that ball was incomplete as he was looking to get it to Eric Ward, the senior from Wichita Falls. He's had an outstanding career. It's been an outstanding stretch of bowl games that'll continue right into Tuesday with a triple header on ESPN. It'll start with the Advocare V100 Bowl, Arizona and Boston College. Kadeem Carey against Andre Williams, 2 of the very best running backs in football. And then Rice, the upstart Rice team, won Conference USA against Mississippi State. And Duke and Texas A&M in the Chick-fil-A at 8 o'clock Eastern. Johnny Football against Cutcliffe and the surprising Dukies. Remember, Texas Tech has done this before, and they've done it in this game. They have one previous Holiday Bowl experience, and it came against an outstanding Cal team. Number 4 in the country, Cal, with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Yeah, the Rose Bowl plans thwarted by Texas, but Sonny Cumbie, Texas Tech, threw for 520 yards. Henderson iced the game away, a 45-31 upset of number 4 Cal. And here they are moments away from taking down number 14 Arizona State, thanks to a freshman quarterback, Davis Webb, who was platooning on the very first series of this game. They were platooning quarterbacks until Webb showed the hot hand.
Well, remember we said, Maria Taylor said at the beginning of the game that Coach Kingsbury, he would go with the one who proved himself as it went.
It didn't take long to realize Webb was proving himself.
It really didn't. Davis Webb played fantastic.
Take you back moments ago to that punt play, and look at Will Sutton. He does a belly flop onto the turf there. 305-pounder flying in. Kelly's going to be taken down back near the 46-yard line. Disappointing night for.
You knew, you know, I understand why Todd Graham was going to pressure. He was going to pressure the young freshman to see if, you know, test his mettle. Well, the problem was he was up for the challenge, and he just played and answered fantastically.
That's R.J. Robinson with the reception there, senior running back, who young man who's interested in going to medical school. He shadows the team doctors. He's been to a few surgeries and really a good student who's got a very bright future. And there's Kerry Hyder, who
he's played himself a pretty good game here tonight, hasn't he?
Right leg, and he's another one of these really dependable guys. By all accounts, the leader of the Texas Tech defense. Veteran guy, has got the respect of so many teammates.
Kerry Hyder turned himself in a nice game. Guavin played a heck of a game. Will Smith, Pete Robertson played a good game. Brandon Jackson, Bush, Dartwan Bush had a heck of a night here tonight. That front 7, they need to stand up tall because they played extremely well.
As well as their defensive coordinator deserves some credit.
Yeah.
Matt Wallerstedt.
And Matt called a Very nice game. Knew he rolled his guys in, kept them fresh. He blitzed when he had to, played his zones when he had to. It was fun to watch.
You know, Arizona State went over 50 points 6 times this year. And here they are, held to 23.
Davis Webb throws over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Not too shabby for a freshman, huh?
Kingsbury's got away with the QBs, doesn't he? And Kelly, that's going to be no interception as he was out of bounds, they're saying, Keenan Ward.
Regardless, it was the 4th
That's
down.
right. So it's a turnover on downs.
Minute 9. Take the snap and move on.
Over on downs.
And there comes the celebration a little early for Cliff Kingsbury.
He'll take that one.
Look at the smile on his face. And first bowl win in what was a real interesting year. Had all the success early this season. See that effort that was made that time by Ward along the sideline.
Cliff Kingsbury's got a... That's a good coach. Good young coach.
Shaped Case Keenum to his success at Houston, and then last year, Texas A&M's offensive coordinator, credited with helping Johnny Manziel in his Heisman run. And then he comes to Texas Tech. He comes back home to Texas Tech. Of course, a record-breaking quarterback in the late 90s, early 2000s for the Red Raiders. And he's handed a couple of freshman quarterbacks, Michael Brewer, a sophomore who was injured, and takes all of that and molds it into a team that went 7-0, hit a rough stretch, but comes back with a signature win here in a bowl game.
One thing for Cliff Kingsbury, his hair is too neat.
Not your style, Millen.
Needs a baseball hat, and he's got the little gruffy beard thing, so I go with a baseball hat, he'd be all right.
Something about the National University Holiday Bowl that Arizona State just doesn't align with. They're 0-4 in this bowl game. And the Red Raiders have won 4 straight. 37-23 is our final. Coming up next is Sports Center. And for live coverage of the post-game trophy presentation presented by Capital One, you can log on to ESPN3 immediately following.